My child.
What an interesting old gentleman. James did a lovely job there, taking out the memories of other times and the stories of other times. Stories looking forward to this weekend with Danielle Begley, who's Batwoman. How are you?
Batwoman.
This weekend, anyway, you're Batwoman. You know?
Yes, I'm Batwoman.
Danielle, let me tell them, first of all, this is the Newry District Council's Biodiversity Officer, and you have responsibility for the health of the natural world in our area, everything that grows and everything that flows, I suppose.
Yes,
that's a
a
good
nice
way
of
of
putting
it.
it. Yeah.
Everything that grows and everything that flows. So why bats this weekend? Where will you be?
Bats this weekend. On Thursday night we will be in Tullymore Forest Park.
Yeah.
Because I cover Down District
You
Council
do,
as
yeah.
well. Yep. So starting at 8:30 in Tullymore, and we're going to have help from the Northern Ireland Bat Group, and they are of course experts and they're licensed to handle bats.
Well, you need to be licensed
You
to
need
handle
to
a
be
bat.
licensed. They're European protected species. You have to be licensed to be able to.
But if I see a
handle them.
bat sort of lost its way out in the daylight,
Yes.
and I see Sean coming with a stake to drive through its heart, I'm entitled to lift it and protect
You
it
can
if it's
be
in
very
danger.
gentle. You can put a little tea towel or blanket around it and lift it and
just put it on it
somewhere
and
safe.
yeah, of course.
But
of course.
you're not.
I always-
Technically, you're not allowed to.
I always put myself, and this would be my defence in court if I was taken up for handling a bat without a licence. I would say, my lord, I put myself in the place, my lord, of the bat. And my lord, I always thought if I was in some peril and jeopardy, I would like someone to come and put a soft cloth all around me and then to lift me into their caring hands.
Yeah.
And if I do this for the bat, it will be okay.
Well,
so,
that's-
you know, what you do, what you want done to you, do to the bat.
Yeah.
Have you ever held a bat?
No. No, I am not licensed to hold a bat, Rowan. No, but the good
I'll
thing
ask you
about
another question. Would you be frightened to hold a bat?
No.
Ah, that's
Not
good,
at all.
yeah.
They're very tiny, and usually whenever Northern Ireland Bat Group come along, they usually have a little orphaned bat or an injured bat with them.
Ah, yeah.
So it's brilliant, especially if children come along. It's brilliant for them to be able to look at them. They're very, very tiny.
Yeah.
They're only about 5 grams. You know, our most common
Yeah.
species, the pipistrel. So they're very, very tiny and actually quite cute when you look
Yeah.
at them up close.
They actually taste quite nice.
Ugh, Rowan.
Honestly, there are people in parts of the world I've been, they eat them.
Yeah.
And they also take the guano, and they use the guano and make it into a kind of gruel or porridge. I'm not joking you
Yeah.
here. But I mean, we don't, it's not in our culture to
No,
eat bats, you
no.
know. If we're bad enough stuck, we might,
Well, you never know.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Tullymore this
Tullymore on
weekend.
Thursday night, and then on Friday night we're up at Bestbrook.
Ah, good.
Bestbrook Library at 8:30.
But there are not too many bats in Bestbrook
No,
Library.
but we're having a talk in the library, and then we're walking out round the pond.
Wow.
The pond is covered in Dobenton bats, which love to
You're
sort of
joking.
skim over the water and feed off the little midges and the
Excuse
insects.
me, they're not bats, they're swallows. Or swifts.
Bats.
Are you sure?
There's bats. We will have bat detectors with us on the night, and you'll be able to hear the clicking, and the sounds. So it'll be a nice, interesting evening.
Yeah, yeah. It's why, you know, I think a lot of houses have bats in the roof space, and they
Yes.
don't even know it.
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility.
Of course,
because
yeah.
these bats, why do they come in? Is it
Just
shelter?
for shelter.
To
Just
breed?
for shelter. Sometimes,
hang around?
depending on the time of the year, it'll be the females coming in to have their babies.
Yeah.
They only have one baby each. But usually, the reason why I'm running these bat walks and these bat talks is to
Yeah.
raise awareness of bats, to let people know they're not scary. We have no such thing as vampire bats here. Bats will not bite you, suck your blood.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get tangled in your hair. Bats have very good eyesight.
They'll miss you always. Yeah.
You know, so I want to raise awareness of that, and also the fact that if you do have bats roosting in your house or coming in and out, using your house as shelter, that it's a lovely thing, and not to be frightened of them and put off by them. You know.
But yeah, and parts of the world where you have a bat that drinks blood, it's the blood of the cattle that they land on the
animals,
cattle,
yeah.
and it's the same as mosquitoes
In
or
South
whatever
America,
else. You know,
yeah.
they do that.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
we don't have them here.
No.
So we don't
Have
to worry
we
about it.
many bats in our area?
We have, in Northern Ireland, we have 8 species of bat.
Yeah.
So 8 different ones, and our biggest one is called the Leisler bat, and it's only 15 grams in weight. It's still lighter, if you think about it, than a packet of crisps.
Wow.
They're so tiny and light. You know, they're very, very, very small and
Yeah.
delicate, which is why you need a license to handle them, because you can't damage their wings and things. So, so we have 8 species. Down south now in Southern Ireland, there's an extra species that we don't have. the horseshoe bat that we haven't.
I know of this
Yeah.
one. He's actually the shape of a horse. If you use your imagination, it is a kind of a horseshoey type
So,
thing
and it's
indeed.
very, very interesting, again, to know that there are so many different types of species. They're not all just a bat and that's it, So you can learn about this at the walks.
So
and
I think
talks.
realistically, this weekend people can actually go out and find out real things about it. It's Tullamore
on Thursday night
Thursday night. What time?
at 8:30 in the main car park.
8:30 in the main car park, and then Friday
Meeting in Bestbrook Library
at
8:30. You can come along a bit
8:30,
earlier.
yeah.
Hopefully we'll have
Okay.
a few leaflets and
and
things
then you
out.
go out and investigate the pond.
Go out for a
after
walk.
that.
Bring a torch as well.
Yeah.
If you have one, that would be useful, because it will get dark then after 9.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
and
it'll
then
be interesting.
Beyond bats, you're doing bats this weekend. What else do you
What else do we
delve
do?
into?
Well, so
in
far
your-
this summer we've done our butterflies. We've
The
had our
butterfly. How was that?
kinds.
Butterflies
Great.
in the park at Warren Point.
Fantastic.
Was there a single butterfly there?
There were plenty of butterflies.
Wow. What
Plenty.
make? What sort of shape? they
Whites.
make?
We had whites. We had speckled woods.
Wow.
We had what else did we have? Peacocks.
Peacocks.
Beautiful. Yeah.
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 And the tumble down tartlet. You don't believe that there is such a such a butterfly called a tumble down tartlet.
Oh, Rowan,
tartlet.
I would love to live in your world for a while.
My
and
world
see-
is great.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? The most comfortable night's sleep in my entire life.
Good.
Bought a nice new bed.
Lovely.
Now people should do that.
They should.
Because if you want to be strong going out to hunt bats, you need to be rested and to
Yes.
be in the loveliest bed in the world, and then strongly go out, go where no bat hunter has been before.
Yes.
Rest is very important. But I mean, what sort of world are you in when you're not doing bats? You must be a kind of a batty person to be doing.
batty
You know what I'm
person.
saying to you? It's people observe that I'm trying to be constantly happy. But that's important because the alternative is unacceptable, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah. I'm just interested in nature and wildlife
Yeah.
in general. My husband's
about-
constantly giving off to me. Anytime we're walking the dogs, I had to be
Yeah.
stopping to look at the birds or look
But
at
sure, why
something.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But he
But it's
enjoys
lovely.
that. That's
Oh,
why
he
he
likes
married
it,
you.
yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he fell in love with you. He's like this. He would have gone, I like her. She is interesting.
Yeah.
And there's a gentleness about her as well, he would have said. All these things would have come
Of
out.
course, yeah.
And you have a nice family. How many have you got now?
One daughter,
Hannah?
Hannah. Yeah.
And do you
Hannah's-
spell it with the H at the end of it?
I
or
do,
You
yes.
do? Yeah, yeah. I had someone was talking to me yesterday, and her son was called Noah.
Lovely.
And it was
Yeah.
wonderful to hear these names, these biblical names,
Yeah.
because they go back so
They do.
very, very far.
Yeah.
So what's on the program for the rest of the year for you?
Well, we're coming into winter, so it starts to sort of get a bit quieter
Yeah.
in the winter. The summertime is the really busy time for biodiversity.
Yeah.
So the winter
So
time
winter time,
is
you
more
just kind of say it's cold out there. Let them get on
cold.
with it themselves.
Yeah. No,
Let them
winter
look-
time. We're
who
coming
cares about
into
them in the winter?
National Tree Week.
Wow.
National Tree Week will be happening November, December time in winter. So hopefully we'll be doing some tree planting and plug planting and things like that with local schools. Maybe we'll see.
What about Daisy Hill Wood?
Daisy Hill Wood. Yeah.
When were
we're-
you last up there? What's happening there?
We have the council, the Action for Biodiversity project within the council. It's a European funded
Yeah.
project. Have recently just funded a management plan, a 5-year management plan for Daisy Hill Wood.
Wow.
So we have, as part of that, we have a few £1,000 to spend on some practical works coming into the winter now.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some bramble clearance and just open it up a bit again and try and increase the light in it, because it's got quite encroached again and quite dark.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pity.
Yeah,
because
we need to get people back into it again
Yeah.
and using it again. So
you know
we're
that
gonna
we've been
improve it.
saying that for the last 8 years.
I know.
That's been constant.
Yeah.
And people tend to be driven off by creatures who are not bats of the night, who come in and sit down and do their drinking and getting drunk and
But that's the
breaking
benefits
glass
of
and-
clearing it open.
Yeah.
Opening it up a bit, and hopefully that won't really be happening. to be
Danielle,
cut
I
off.
can tell you with great authority, when it was clear and open, they were still doing
I know,
it.
I know.
And I don't know. I think we could organise a shoot. You know the way you go and shoot pheasant and you issue shotguns then so they can take them out.
Right.
Anybody, you're drunk in my park, bong, you're gone. But only hit them in the ass, and put rock salt into the cartridges.
You do that for me, Ron, will you?
No, if you want me to take the risks,
yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to be doing that at all. It's very bad. Yeah, you enjoy your work.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
You
yeah.
do. You really are.
Always something
Yeah,
different.
Yeah. What did you do in the real world before you became a biodiversity
In
officer?
the real world, I was a student. I was studying marine biology and conservation at Queen's. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I worked for a little
You
while.
diver.
No, I never did my diving certificate.
It's time you went and did it, because
No.
I was a diver for the greater part of my life.
Really?
Absolutely fantastic.
No.
Yeah,
See, I'm a bit
diving.
of a fake marine biologist. I think that would scare me.
No,
I'm more of the coastal shore type
walking
marine
along and
biology.
lifting the rock, and
Don't go out any further than waist height in the water.
I don't know. There's a lot to be said for it, because the natural world, the flora and fauna of the Irish coast is magnificent.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
the kelp forests
We're very
around.
lucky.
We're just blessed.
Yeah,
And
especially the Down coast. We're very, very
well,
lucky.
over at Newcastle at Bloody Bridge, off there, magnificent kelp
Yeah.
areas, very, very rich in biodiversity, and also the wrecks around the coast. You really should do diving.
Yeah.
You know, get in, start snorkeling and whatever else, and then get involved, and you really, really
Yeah.
enjoy it. We're kind of almost there. Have you anything to ask me about bats or anything else? Or?
I'm not going to ask you about your bat that sat
No?
on your shoulder. No.
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 Well, they just recognised me. He thought he was a parrot.
Did I?
Any normal bat wouldn't sit on a person's shoulder unless he believed he was a parrot.
Of course,
And
yeah.
that was the whole
Yes.
thing. So you're back to, when are you? You're in Newry today and tomorrow.
I'm in Newry, yes, for the
And
next couple of
then
days. Back to Tullymore on Thursday.
Tollymore on Thursday, and then
Down,
next
yeah.
week you're back to Down.
Mixing and matching
Yeah,
again.
Down
Yep.
and Newry share you. Shauna, we got some music that would be appropriate to our conversation. He's not committing himself anyway. Thank you.
Thanks,
God
Ron.
bless you. Go well. Take
Thanks
care.
a million. Thank
You're
you.
wonderful. Thank you, Sean.